The diner was quiet, except for the hum of the neon sign outside and the clink of plates being stacked by tired waitresses. It was late afternoon, one of those cloudy days where the world felt heavy. In the corner booth sat a young girl no older than 16. Her name was Emily. She had bright, searching eyes that carried a quiet strength, but her body betrayed her. Born with a disability that made her walk with difficulty, Emily often leaned on a crutch to steady herself. Yet, she loved this little diner, because here she could sip a milkshake, sketch in her notebook, and watch the world pass by. For Emily, this place felt like a second home. But not everyone saw her that way. As the doors swung open with the rough jingle of the bell, 3 local boys swaggered in. Teenagers, loud and restless, the kind that carried arrogance like armor. They noticed Emily immediately. One whispered to the other, and cruel laughter followed. They didn't see a girl full of dreams, they saw someone to target, to break because breaking someone else made them feel bigger. Emily kept her eyes on her sketchbook, hoping if she ignored them, they'd lose interest. But bullies rarely needed an invitation. One of the boys slid into her booth uninvited, smirking, while the other 2 stood over her. "What are you drawing, cripple?" One sneered, grabbing at her notebook. Emily clutched it back, her heart pounding. "Please leave me alone," she whispered. Her voice, soft but firm, only fueled them. Another boy leaned closer, his face twisted with mockery. "What's the matter? Can't run away from us, can you?" And before Emily could react, a sharp slap echoed across the diner. Her cheek burned, her eyes filled with tears, but her pride held firm. She didn't cry out. She didn't scream, she only sat there trembling, trying to hold on to the last pieces of her dignity. The waitress rushed over, scolding the boys, but they laughed it off and left, knocking over her crutch on their way out. The diner returned to silence, but it was a different silence now, heavier, filled with shame, anger, and helplessness. Emily bent to pick up her crutch with shaking hands. She hated that this was her reality. She hated that cruelty seemed louder than kindness. For an hour she sat there, nursing her milkshake, pretending her sketchbook still mattered. Customers came and went, throwing her sympathetic glances, but no one dared confront the bullies. Emily was used to that too, the silence of bystanders. Then the door opened again. This time it wasn't restless teenagers, it was a group of bikers. Leather jackets, heavy boots, tattoos that told stories of hard lives. The kind of people polite society often avoided. They walked in like thunder rolling across the sky, their presence undeniable. Emily froze, her heart racing. She didn't know if she should be afraid or relieved. The leader of the group, a man with a gray beard and eyes that carried the weight of battles fought both on the road and in life, noticed her immediately. He saw the red mark on her cheek, the trembling hands, the crutch by her side. He also noticed the sketchbook she held onto like it was her shield. He sat down at the counter but kept glancing at her. Something in her silence pulled at him. After a few moments, he stood and walked over. His shadow fell across her table, and Emily looked up, nervous. But instead of cruelty, his voice was gentle. "Mind if I sit?" he asked. She nodded, hesitant. "I'm Jack," he said, sliding into the booth. "My friends and we saw those boys outside earlier. They were bragging about what they did in here. Is that true?" Emily's eyes filled again, but she only nodded. She didn't want petty, yet she couldn't hide the truth. Jack's jaw tightened. He turned his head toward his crew, gave them a look, and they immediately understood. "Listen, Emily," Jack said softly. "Life's got cruel people. People who kick at anything weaker than themselves. But let me tell you something. Weakness isn't what you think it is. You sitting here, holding yourself together after what they did, that's strength most people will never understand." Emily's lip trembled. No one had ever told her that before. Jack asked about her drawings, and slowly, Emily showed him her sketches, dreams of worlds where people flew, where heroes defended the weak, where kindness was stronger than fists. Jack studied them with respect, nodding. "You've got talent. You see the world better than those fools ever could." As they talked, the bikers ordered food, but kept their eyes on Emily, protective now. The diner, once heavy with silence, filled with a new energy, an unspoken promise that cruelty would not stand unchallenged. A little later, the door opened again. The same boys walked back in, laughing, shoving each other. They froze when they saw the bikers. The laughter died on their lips. Jack stood, towering over them. "You boys think you're tough?" he asked, his voice calm but dangerous. "Slapping a girl who can't fight back. That's not toughness. That's cowardice. The boys stammered, trying to defend themselves, but Jack stepped closer. If you've got that much fight in you, try it with someone your size. The diner fell silent again, but this time the power was different. The boys, stripped of their bravado, muttered excuses and stumbled out. They didn't look so big anymore. Emily watched, her heart swelling with a mix of relief and gratitude. For the first time, someone had stood up for her, not with pity, but with respect. When the bikers finished their meal, Jack leaned down and whispered, "Don't ever let anyone make you feel small. You've got more courage than those boys will ever have. And if anyone ever bothers you again, remember, you've got friends on the road." He winked, then pressed a card into her hand. On it was written Brotherhood of Steel Riders. Emily smiled through her tears, clutching the card. She knew she wasn't alone anymore. That night, when she got home, she opened her sketchbook and began a new drawing. This time it wasn't of superheroes or imagined worlds. It was of a girl in a diner, her cheek red but her spirit unbroken, surrounded by bikers who stood like guardians behind her. For the first time, she drew herself as the hero. In the end, this story isn't about bullies or even bikers. It's about the power of standing up for those who are silenced. It's about how kindness, no matter how it arrives, can change someone's world. Friends, what do you think about this story? Have you ever witnessed kindness in unexpected places? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your experiences. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss another powerful story here on Kindness Wins. Because together, we can prove that kindness always wins.